Aphrodite is various times titled the strongest of the female Greek goddesses. She is the Olympian goddess of love, beauty, sexual pleasure, and procreation. For people who worship her, she is smile-loving, and the one who postpones old age, whereas for others who do not believe in her, she is the unholy one, the dark one, the doom of men, the killer of men. She is referred to as Venus by the Romans, and according to the ancient Greek poet Hesiod, she is Uranus and Dion's daughter. Aphrodite was born from the castrated genitals of Uranus, making her a Titan. However, she is not seen as a Titan goddess and is pictured as one of the strongest Olympian gods and goddesses. At the time of her birth, she was the most beautiful lady in the universe. However, according to repute author Homer, she is known to be the daughter of Zeus, though the stories behind her birth vary. Worried that her charm would stir up a lot of unnecessary commotion among the gods, Zeus had her married to Hephaestus, the legendary Olympian craftsman. But that did not stop her from having a not-so-secret love affair with the god of war, Ares. Popular in Greek mythology as the most beautiful deity whose angelic appearance could charm even the hardest of hearts, she possessed the title of goddess of beauty, love, and desire. Besides her astounding beauty, she also had the power to ignite love and desire among gods, mortals, and even the birds and beasts. She was also said to have a role in the natural cycle of the birth, death, and rebirth of all mortals and living beings in nature. Persephone is the goddess of agriculture and fertility, and she is the daughter of goddess Demeter. Hades was madly in love with Persephone and abducted her to the underworld. Persephone is the daughter of the ancient supreme god Zeus and his lover, Demeter. She is represented as the goddess of spring and vegetation. Demeter's beloved daughter Persephone was abducted by her uncle, Hades, which made her famous as the queen of the underworld. Her uncle, Hades, abducted her and forced her to marry him, which resulted in her mother, Demeter, being aggravated. As a result, being the goddess of harvest, Demeter stopped the growth of crops on the earth, which resulted in a long winter and famine. Goddess Demeter started searching for her daughter throughout the day and night but could not find her. She was in a state of gloom and doom that caused the plants to wither and die. Zeus then ordered his brother Hades to release Persephone as he feared the decrease in mortals' sacrifices to the gods. Before she returned to the world of the living, Hades offered 6 seeds of pomegranate to Persephone. She consumed the underworld's pomegranate seeds, which stopped her from leaving the underworld. To agree, a deal was worked out between Hades and Demeter, according to which Persephone was allowed to share the time in Olympus and the underworld, 6 months for each. However, the earth experiences autumn and winter seasons whenever she leaves for the underworld. When she returns to Demeter, spring begins, and winter is thawed. Being the goddess of spring and the queen of the underworld simultaneously, she is among the ironical female Greek goddesses. She is represented as a robed figure carrying a sheaf of grain that is mostly pictured based on her abduction. Her Roman counterpart is Libera. Hestia plays a prominent role in ancient Greece. As per historians, she was the first child of Cronus and Rhea and hence, the first one to be swallowed by Cronus. Also known as the ancient Greek goddess of the hearth, Hestia was the eldest among the first Olympian siblings, her brothers being Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. It is believed that there were 3 virgin goddesses in ancient Greek mythology and Hestia was one of them, the other 2 being Athena and Artemis. Poseidon and Apollo relentlessly pursued her and both asked for her hand in marriage after falling in love with her. However, Hestia denied both and went to Zeus to swear an oath of virginity for all time. She made the oath to Zeus that she would forever remain pure and undefiled and thus never entered into marital union with a man. She symbolized the warmth of a house from the burning fire in the hearth. Most of the ancient Greeks believed her to be the divine representation of tranquility in a normal domestic life. Despite this, historical and archaeological evidence shows that her popularity never really took off. In fact, it is even said that she was removed from the pantheon of Olympian gods, her place given to Dionysus. In many ways, her Roman counterpart Vesta was far more influential since she represented the union between the colonies and the major cities of the Roman era. The youngest daughter of Zeus and Hera, Hebe was considered the divine personification of everlasting youth and beauty. Being the mistress of everlasting elegance and charm, She is labeled as the goddess of youth in Greek mythology. Her name itself means youth in the Greek language, and many believed she could even restore youthfulness to the old. Her role on Mount Olympus was to serve the nectar that made the Olympian gods immortal. Despite being worshipped as a deity who could bestow youthfulness, she was more involved in the daily chores at Olympus, such as being the handmaiden to Hera and even preparing the royal chariot. She later married the popular demigod Hercules and had 2 children with him, Alexiares and Anicetus. Most often she is seen alongside her father, who guises himself as an eagle. The depiction of an eagle drinking from the cup Hebe holds with her means the rejuvenation of the eagle with the elixir of youth. Hebe is very popular both in the ancient Greek period and post-classical art period. For many years she was seen painted numerous times with the same iconic eagle in a hurling cup. Eris is considered to be the Greek goddess of strife and discord. She is the elder daughter of Dark Night, Nyx. She is known to cause divisions, squabbles, and quarrels among people. Her opposite was Harmonia. The equivalent Roman goddesses of Eris and Harmonia were Discordia and Concordia. She was also a sister of god Ares as per Greek mythology. Eris played an important role in the events that eventually led to the Trojan War. All of the Olympians had been invited to the wedding of Peleus and Thetis, who would become the parents of Achilles. However, Eris was not invited, due to her inclination to cause discord. As a means of revenge, Eris dropped the golden apple of discord into the party, which had the words "to the fairest one" inscribed on it. Hera, Athena and Aphrodite started quarreling over who the apple should be given to, so Zeus appointed Paris, Prince of Troy, as the person to solve the dispute. The goddesses offered Paris various gifts, but he eventually picked Aphrodite, who promised him the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen, wife of Menelaus, king of Sparta. This led to the Trojan War and the destruction of Troy. Eris is generally shown gossiping or humming, and at times she beautifies her appearance to involve herself in making secret and underhand plans to achieve success. Eileithyia was the Greek goddess of birth and labor pains. She is known to assist women to deliver babies and withstand the pains caused during the process. She is very caring for newborns. As many pregnant women died during childbirth, she is often referred to as the goddess that causes death to women at childbirth. Eileithyia had many shrines dedicated to her in many parts of ancient Greece that imply she was very important among pregnant women and their families. The Greek goddesses represented the feminine aspect of ancient Greek mythology. At the same time, each individual goddess also personified different aspects of life. Demeter was the divine embodiment of agriculture and harvest, thus by extension she represented life-sustaining food. Similarly, despite being notorious for her heartless ferocity towards Zeus' love interests, Hera epitomized the sacred values of marriage. These goddesses not only justified their status as members of the Olympian family because of their angelic personas, but also complemented their male counterparts with their divine presence. Therefore, female Greek goddesses of all 3 generations who were worshipped in ancient Greece were extremely influential.